Lowe's is my new go-to destination for discovering the newest Craftsman products, including mechanics, tool sets, storage, and more in-store and online. Like the 120-tooth ratchet has a 3-degree arc swing that lets you loosen or tighten bolts with less movement in those hard-to-reach spots. Plus, it comes in a gunmetal chrome finish. It's not only sharp-looking, but it makes them corrosion-resistant. Pretty cool. Shop the new home of Craftsman today at Lowes.com/footballers. That's Lowes.com/footballers.
Welcome to the Fantasy Footballers Podcast, coming to you from Draft.com Studios with your hosts, Andy Holloway, Jason Moore, and Mike Wright.
Welcome in. Wednesday, November 28th. The show you know and love.
The Wednesday show?
Well, no, the Fantasy Footballers.
This show.
Yeah.
I do love this show.
Are you subscribed?
I am subscribed. I have reviewed on iTunes.
You follow us
on Apple Podcasts?
On Apple. Yes, I apologize. On Apple
Thank
Podcasts, I have clicked the bell on YouTube. I'm over on Instagram.
You're following on Instagram.
Yeah,
to be clear.
I'm just checking you guys out.
All right, well that's good. Andy, Mike, and Jason
creeping.
back again. Brooks pulling the levers. Hey, Brooks, how you doing?
Excellent.
Good. Wednesday, November 28th, as I said, we have pumped the brakes on the show, the Thursday night preview, a ton of mailbag, and excited to get into things, excited to help you prepare for a big week of fantasy football. Many of you fighting for things like bye weeks, fighting for playoff berths, fighting maybe to disrupt.
Yeah, just fighting to fight.
Just fighting for seeding.
Fight.
Yeah. So I'm excited. Don't forget, waivers went through. So
Drop it like it's hot.
yeah, a lot of people don't want to drop people. A lot of people had to drop people. And so there may be some good names out there that hit the waiver wire today. Pay attention. That could work in your favor. That once upon a time, Jason Moore, about this time of year, dropped a Joik Bell.
Oh, that was a bad experience. You picked up that Joik Bell and you played him against me in the playoffs.
Yeah, usually
And then I won.
dropping
because
Joik
of him.
Bell was a good decision.
Right?
It was not that year.
No.
Yeah, oh, there he is. Joik. We haven't heard from him in quite some time.
You know what? He took care of business in that playoff matchup, I'll tell you that. So check out your waiver wire. Check out FootClanGiveaway.com to win a signed Hopkins jersey, a signed Barkley jersey, a signed Michael Thomas mini helmet, FootClanGiveaway.com. And definitely check out the website, thefantasyfootballers.com. Tons of great articles from our crack writing staff.
Oh,
See, I paid attention there.
yes.
They were our crack staff, not our crackpot staff.
No.
Big difference. Huge difference.
Yes. One wears tinfoil on their head.
Okay, yes.
Although maybe the writers do that. I don't know. I don't
Everyone
know how
has a
they do
different
it.
method.
Trust the process.
But the results,
tinfoil cap.
yes. Sometimes people feel like fantasy is projecting fantasy results is pretty
Yeah.
similar to connecting with aliens,
Yeah, I can understand
receiving
it.
messages from outer space. It's Wednesday, so we've got
O'Reilly.
Auto Parts. Ow! Pump the brakes with O'Reilly Auto Parts. For Wednesday, who are you pumping the brakes on? Mike.
All right, I'll jump in here. And this is adjust your expectations because you can't bench this player. But it's Joe Mixon, running back from the Cincinnati Bengals, and you think, hey, he's taking on the Denver Broncos. I mean, I remember way back when Isaiah Crowell ran for over 200 on those fellas, and it was burned into your brain because it was the beginning of the season that the Denver Broncos were a bad rushing defense. Ho, ho, ho! Not so fast, my friend. If you have not been paying attention the past 6 weeks, they are the second worst matchup for fantasy running backs. And now, on top of that, with the tough matchup, Joe Mixon's quarterback is an old Driscoll.
Yeah, Jeff Driscoll taking over. They'll probably focus on the running game, and
They're going to try
make
to
Jeff
focus
Driscoll
on the running game. No Andy Dalton, no A.J. Green to help open things up. He will still get the volume, but I think it's going to be a tough sledding for Joe Mixon. Instead of that RB1 you thought you had, I think he's just a mid to lower range RB2 this week.
You don't think A.J. Green's going to play?
I do not.
So you remember when remember I made that trade? Trading A.J. Green away?
Well,
yes.
yes.
That was dynasty.
I still think he will play next year.
Sure. But, I mean, I was looking at it as like that was the Josh Gordon trade where I was like, man, I'm so worried that A.J. Green will be projected to come back for 5 weeks in a row and never play. Do they have much reason to bring him back right now?
No, they certainly do not. Jason and I, were we talking about this on the live stream yesterday?
Yes.
So we did a live stream.
Yeah, shout out to everybody that tuned in and supported.
We did the Giving Tuesday, supported Brandon Marshall's charity for mental health. I mean, incredible stuff. But we talked about this, and I was of the side of why would you even bring A.J. Green back at this point?
Yeah, and my take was if he's healthy, that's why you bring him back because he's a football player and he plays football. But if he's not
That's
healthy,
what football players do.
If he's not healthy,
play football.
Then you don't have a reason to rush him back. There's nothing really to play for at this point. But
it's just if there's any risk of re-injury, for creating a nagging injury long term for A.J. Green, you have nothing to play for anymore.
So you're pumping the brakes on Joe Mixon,
I am.
adjusting expectations. I'm pumping the brakes on Baker Mayfield, quarterback for the Cleveland Browns.
Ooh.
The
Be careful.
the darling of many, but he goes into Houston, a team that's on fire right now with a very strong defensive front. He's never seen anything quite like the J.J. Watt, Jadeveon Clowney defensive front, and not the most elusive of all quarterbacks.
He's fine.
I agree, but he's found himself with some collapsing pockets and some ball control or ball security issues in previous weeks. It's just going to be a tall task to travel into Houston, face that defense, and have a productive fantasy game.
Fair.
And so I think you're coming off a week in which he was a top 5 producer. You need to pump the brakes on that production for at least a week.
Yeah, my pump the brakes this week, he's not in my top 24 running back, so he's going to be a flex consideration. You could start him if you need to because he's Tevin Coleman.
Unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. Look, if you told me before the season Devonta Freeman's going to miss almost the entirety of this year, Tevin Coleman would have been thought of as a lock for a top 10 running back.
Yep.
Since Devonta Freeman went down in week 5, once he came back and went officially down and out, that's when it's like, okay, it's Tevin Coleman time. We know Devonta Freeman's on IR. He's going to be getting 15 carries a game. He has averaged just under 10 carries a game from that point on, despite the fact that Ito Smith has just been a talentless player on the field, in my opinion. He's doing okay in the passing game. Tevin Coleman has really made it up from some receiving touchdowns, some big yardage games in the passing game, but this is a matchup against Baltimore that I don't expect them to really be able to win on all the screen game stuff. I mean, and if you're rushing the ball 9.7 times a game, he's averaging 42 yards a game since Freeman has gone down, and he's only had 1 rushing touchdown during that stretch. I don't see a huge scoring output against the Ravens. It's just a bad matchup. He hasn't been what we have hoped he would be. And so, to me, Tevin Coleman this week is not a must start. He's a can start, a flex consideration. Look at your options. Choose accordingly.
I think that's fair. And I think if Tevin Coleman was running better, he'd probably average more than 9.7 carries a game.
Yeah.
It's kind of been a, self-fulfilling
chicken
situation. Yeah, chicken or the egg situation.
And, there's been a lot of questions coming in about Tevin Coleman's outlook rest of season, which I still think is okay. This is not a you got to get rid of this player or you can't rely on him. This is a combination of being a little bit disappointing mixed with the matchup.
How about Tevin Coleman or Lamar Miller, Jay?
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth when you're talking to me. Lamar Miller.
That was Pump the Brakes with O'Reilly Auto
had
Parts.
A good week.
Pump the brakes with O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. I just had to throw that in there.
Of course you did.
Too much fun.
News and notes from around the league.
Piggybacking on the narrative of, why play A.J. Green if he's banged up at all, there's been some discussions about the availability of Mitch Trubisky this week and whether or not he's going to play. In fact, the Vegas lines on that game aren't set because they don't know the availability of Mitch. Do you guys think Mitch Trubisky plays?
I don't think he plays, but it's too early in the week to make any kind of declaration. This isn't a drop Trubisky because he's not going to play. I would certainly not do that. But they're playing in New York against the Giants. This is a matchup similar to last week where I think you believe as a team with your defense, with Chase Daniel, you can go in there and win and protect your actual star quarterback that you need
for the playoffs.
So the combination of reasons there is why I don't believe they rush him in. I don't think he plays.
Someone timestamp what just happened. That was low key, and I can't believe no one else noticed.
I was hoping it snuck by, Mike.
You just called Mitch Trubisky their star quarterback.
I regretted it when it came out of my mouth, and I was like, if I just low key it and just power through. No one will timestamp this, and then Mike goes and does something like this.
I will draw attention to this. I mean, what?
Look, he's been great.
It was, 6 weeks ago? Well, maybe it was further.
No,
maybe it was.
It's very easy to tell when it was. You look at his game log, and you look at where he sucked, and then you look at his
exploded,
huge first game. That's when
the 6 touchdown against you.
That is correct.
So that was week 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, it's been more about 2.5 months, but that didn't take long.
So it's official. He's a superstar. The NFL Network's Mike Garofalo, and I saw another report this morning. Ravens are planning to start Lamar Jackson again in Week 13 against the Falcons. Reports came out that Flacco would need to practice an entire week before he came back. I think the Baltimore
Which is so weird because 2 weeks ago it was, Joe Flacco doesn't need to take a rep. And he can still start for this. What has happened, Baltimore?
He now needs
Lamar
6
Jackson.
weeks of consecutive practice to be able to get back in.
Lamar Jackson is what has happened.
They set the timeline so it's not even possible.
Right. Yeah.
Like, how many weeks left this season? 6? He needs 7 straight weeks of practice.
Yep.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Joe. You've just run out of time.
Well, look, if
it looks like we're going to make the playoffs. 8 straight weeks of practice.
It's out of my control, Joe. There's nothing I can do for you.
You can start Lamar Jackson against the Falcons, and you can start him with a big old smile on your face.
Yes, you can.
Leonard Fournette's appeal of the one-game suspension was denied.
Shocking news.
Jason no longer, or he does not have to wear a dress on the podcast because sanity has ruled. And then you'll be really excited about this, Jason.
I didn't know I couldn't do that.
Yes. Lions worked out veteran running back C.J. Anderson.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's already dead.
I don't like that at all for carry-on.
Oh, this is a depth. It's just a depth.
I know, but I don't want them even thinking about depth.
You do not have to worry about Kerryon Johnson. Oh, you mean for like his health?
Yes.
Not like a threat to his carries, just like indicative of long-term health.
Yeah. I guess that
he might be done for a year.
Well, not necessarily.
Or maybe at least a few weeks.
Well, do you realize that the remainder of the year is a few weeks?
Well, by few, I mean 2 to 3.
But that's why you see so many players going on IR now, is because there isn't much time left. So it's like, if you don't think Kerryon's – you want to bring Kerryon back for Week 16 for no reason? Same A.J. Green logic behind that team. So
I don't want to hear that.
I don't think Kerryon's coming back. So,
I don't want to hear that.
You got to carry on, man. Carry on without him.
Yep.
All right. That's it for the news and notes, unless Brooks has something to throw in. Anything really exciting?
You got any newsy?
News and notes from your daily life?
Give us the best news you got, Brooks.
Nothing.
Okay, good job.
That's
what I'm here for.
Yeah.
That's great. That's good stuff.
All right. Well, let's pause. Well, we're going to jump into the mailbag. We're going to answer some Foot Clan questions. We're going to get you ready to bring home those hashtag Foot Clan titles for the upcoming year. And I want to thank Pristine Auction for being the absolute best place to get the best gift possible for that person you love, because they have an unbelievable assortment of autographed sports memorabilia. Here are some things that were sold yesterday. Jarvis Landry, signed Browns jersey, $87. Sterling Shepard, signed Giants jersey, $56. You want to do the Vance dance? It only costs you $82 to get a signed Steelers Vance McDonald jersey. You can find that gift that will blow away your family member because Pristine has their favorite players at affordable prices. Everything you get on Pristine Auction, when you open it up under a tree, it looks like it's worth about 10 times what you paid for it because the quality is amazing. We got a Hopkins jersey up right now in the studio, which we're also giving one of those away.
Yeah.
And the deals are amazing. So you just got to check it out. It's completely free to register on there and check out the auctions. You could always bid. Hey, I want to spend $50 for a jersey. You're going to find one. So you can go to pristineauction.com, Pristine auction.com, and check it out.
Want to thank Omaha Steaks for sponsoring today's show. You know about the Omaha Steaks deal, Foot Clan. You wait for it every year. Good news. It's back.
It's back.
The meat is available. My freezer is fully stocked already with this deal from Omaha Steaks because you can go there right now, omahasteaks.com. You enter the code FANTASY into the search bar, and you're going to get 74% off the Omaha Steaks family gift package, originally $195. Right now, you can grab that with that code FANTASY for $49.99. In that package, you're going to get 4 hand-cut top sirloin steaks, 2 premium pork chops, 4 chicken fried steaks, 4 Omaha Steaks burgers, 4 kielbasa sausages, all beef meatballs, 4 perfectly browned potatoes au gratin, 4 caramel apple tartlets, plus get 4 more burgers for free. Whoa! Yeah, those caramel apple tartlets, my goodness. They are delicious.
They're so good.
Get the limited time package for only $49.99 when you go to omahasteaks.com. You type fantasy in the search bar and add the family gift package to your cart. That's omahasteaks.com's code fantasy.
All right, take another breath, Mike, because we need you right here.
Mailbag.
Mailbag! Yeah!
Thank you.
Gave you a little extra pep.
That's incredible.
Powered by meat.
Incredible. My freezer is entirely filled right now of Omaha.
No, legit, mine is
I'm
too.
not joking. I just have to pick which thing each night I want to grill up. All right, we're in the mailbag. We're here to help. Let's get you ready for Week 13. Got some huge matchups. I got one in our league. Brooks and I head-to-head. If I beat him by enough points, I'll get them by. If he beats me and things don't go the right way, he could knock me out of the playoffs. That's what you call a big fantasy matchup. What were you going to say, Brooks? Were you going to say some?
That's some good. That's what I should have brought up.
Oh, our matchup?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There you
I
go.
thought he was going to trash talk. I really did. I thought I'd get one of them Wild West threats.
Like, I'm going to beat you this week.
As I keep saying, I'm against Gurley and Pat Mahomes. I'm not
You're not feeling good? Your
That's
team's
his
great.
trash talk is, I probably won't win.
No, anything can happen.
There you go.
Thank goodness for that. All right. Let's jump into a voicemail question. If you have a voicemail question, dial our hotline 302-464-TFFB, or you can go to the website, thefantasyfootballers.com, click the submit a question button. Why do you think they called it a hotline to begin with?
Because the calls are coming in hot.
Really? Is that what it was?
Well, actually, back
It's like
in
a
the
hotline.
back
like
when in the
it's
days
alive?
of
Hey,
Alexander Graham Bell, little known fact,
Oh,
the
goodness.
earpiece
Oh,
would
great.
actually get incredibly hot. You could only spend 30 seconds on the phone.
Really?
No, that's not true, Andy.
It might be.
You should have a podcast with It Might Be Science.
Yes.
That's what it's called.
Say things.
It might be science.
It could be true.
Look, I'm not a scientist, but
I love it.
Most of Jupiter is made from cotton candy. It might be. All right, voicemail question.
Hey guys, this is Nick from Indianapolis. Big fan of the show. Just had a question for you guys. Who do you guys like better in the stretch run for the fantasy playoffs? Kenny Golladay or Robert Woods? Just kind of in a little bit of a spot there between those two guys. So just kind of wanted to know what you guys thought. Thanks.
I'm going camping in the woods because Robert Woods is clearly.
Wait. I get the crickets and Jason doesn't for that?
No, that was fantastic.
That does fit the camping moniker, too.
Oh, that's true. The crickets, I'll accept crickets for the beautiful
It's
camping
not a good
setting.
thing.
No, we're wonderfully camping. Look at those stars.
I'm going camping with Robert Woods.
Look, if you put Robert Woods and Kenny G, and you put them both on the Rams, I'll take Kenny G. But I'm taking Robert Woods because the ability for that team to be shut down offensively and the importance to Robert Woods to that offense, it's heavily on the Robert Woods side. Does anybody disagree with that?
No, Robert Woods is a top 10 wide receiver almost every single week in rankings. He will be that way the rest of the season. He is firmly on your starting roster.
Yeah, he has not been below 70 receiving yards since week 1. That's incredible. That's an awesome floor.
This week, for what it's worth, and our rankings go up on Tuesday. They get modified probably 50 times a day.
Yeah.
But
is there a word like I wanted to say hourly, but it's like minutely. Is there?
Yeah, it's minutely. That's
minutely,
the word.
for sure.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
They get updated practically on a minutely basis. But Robert Woods right now is at number 9 in my rankings. Galladay's at 14 for this week. And they are lucky enough to play each other this week. So there you go. Next voicemail question.
Hey, Ballers. This is Tim from Oklahoma. I'm in a PPR 2 flex league, and I have Matt Breida, Mark Ingram, and Kenny Galladay, and I need to start 2 for the playoffs. So which should I pick? Thanks. Bye.
Ooh.
That was Breida, Galladay, and I missed
Breida, Galladay, and Mark Ingram.
Mercy. Those are good problems to have.
I mean, Ingram is the one that has more variability to me. That's what scares me. He can give you a great game. He can disappear. He can be factored out. He can be Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, I've got Breida ahead of him, and I think Galladay is safe because of the volume and the matchups. I would bench Ingram out of those 3.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I agree.
All right, this got a couple questions here. You know, we like to answer questions that aren't just start sit or, rest of season questions, but also ones that affect your league and how you strategize and what you do as a commissioner. And so people are asking a lot of questions regarding playoff teams and their activity, or the non-playoff teams, rather. What is your advice? This one comes in from Instagram, JMCGeorge5. What would your advice be for people that are not in the playoffs? And then a similar question, if you want to roll it all in together, from Twitter, Jeff asks, what are your thoughts on people who are 4-8 and still making waiver claims?
Those are the owners that I want in my league.
Yeah.
If they are 4-8 or 1-11, you should be out there making waiver moves. You should be trying to pick up the best pieces. This is not like well, that's not allowed. I'm in the playoffs. I should get all the good guys. No, this is the same league that you're competing in the whole year. You want active owners. Spoil the riches for others.
Yeah, imagine in the NFL if they went over to the other locker room. They said, "Hey guys, you're out of the playoff run, so you have to play your second string team against us. You guys suck. There's nothing you can do about it." Like, you play to win, man.
It's the essence of competition.
Look, it's going to happen. There's going to be years where you don't make the playoffs, Jason, and what you're doing is sorry.
No, I deserve it.
You're trying to ruin it for everyone else, and the other way is incentivize to keep playing. Like, if it's a money league, have a weekly payout for the top point scorer of the week. Have a punishment that's fun for the league, for the last place team, or the last 2 to 3. I mean,
yeah, in our league of record,
so things are fun.
If in our league of record, if you finish last, you
draft
the wheel of water.
Yeah, you get to have the other 11 owners dump water on you in a myriad of humiliating ways, and then draft soaking wet every year. And this is an actual deterrent. People do not want this to happen to them.
Certainly not. And
it's
if you
the
are
worst from what I hear.
If you are new and you're not familiar with that, we actually developed an app. It's free. It's on your mobile app store, and it's just Wheel of Water. You can use that to make bets with your friends and have fun. And
I use it for all my Ed Dixon related bets with Jason.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to water him weekly.
Yeah. I'm not on board with the we got to shut teams. You're not in competition. You're not allowed to touch
it's
the waiver
weird,
wire.
though, because you do see that. People complain.
Yeah.
They go, this guy's 4-8, and he took my guy. And it's like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? Like, what do you want?
Why is it your guy?
It's not a survivor league. You're not kicking the team out the first time they lose, and it's just you left. You win.
Yeah, unless your league locks teams that are out of the playoffs from making transactions,
Which is dumb.
they should, I agree, then they should be making transactions.
What will Tyler Boyd do the rest of the season with no red rifle slinging him the rock? Jay Schmidt wants to know.
Great question. It is an important question because Boyd has been so good. Is this the end of Tyler Boyd?
He needs more scores.
Just needs more.
Big score.
So I went back and I looked at the game log to see,
Didn't Driscoll throw it like 24 times?
Driscoll was very good. That's not to say he is as good as Andy Dalton, but he came in, and most of Tyler Boyd's success last week came from the hand of Jeff O'Driscoll. And
This poor guy's got an O in front of his name forever.
darn right he does. And some of them, some of them were screens, but he had a deep 46-yard pass, the 28-yard touchdown pass. Those were Driscoll. I think Driscoll's going to see Tyler Boyd as his de facto number one, and he's going to be an okay matchup play. Now, when A.J. Green comes back, look, A.J. Green is going to be the dominant force no matter who the quarterback is. He's just too good of a player. But while A.J. Green is out, I think Tyler Boyd is okay.
I think even when Green comes back for Driscoll, Tyler Boyd is the slot wide receiver. It's easier to manufacture and get these guys open, and it's not I have to have pinpoint accuracy because my receiver's running a 9.
What we talked about, I don't think Green plays again.
Right.
So, we'll see what happens, but I think Boyd's pretty safe. And I think C.J. Uzomah, like I said yesterday on the waiver show, he's a safety valve for Jeff Driscoll. They're going to have to throw the ball because they have the worst defense in football. Their defense is awful. It's trash.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's historically bad.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's really, really bad.
Sorry, Cincinnati.
Let me put it this way. Picture something in your head right now, okay? Close your eyes.
Okay.
I
Picture
got it.
something terrible.
Oh, terrible.
Okay,
Well, I was picturing a watermelon.
I had a nice vase.
Oh, okay. Your watermelon and vase is where you guys went.
Okay,
Yeah.
picture something terrible.
Something awful.
Got it.
Double it.
Okay, there's 2 mics.
It's 2 watermelons.
Wait,
Like microphones?
you don't like watermelons?
Rotten watermelon.
Oh, the rot. Okay, thank you,
Yeah.
Mike. And then the Bengals are worse than that. That's
That
what,
was
the exercise.
That was a journey.
You let
I
us
am really glad we followed that
on a
one.
journey
Just
to
to-
nowhere.
Just to be clear,
You took us in a circle.
their defense is worse than 2 rotten watermelons. It's worse than 2 mics. Mm-hmm. And clearly worse than a vase.
Thanks for the insight.
You're welcome.
All right.
Bobby from Twitter, should I handcuff my opponent's running back?
Yes. Look,
Not at the expense of your own, not at the expense of being smart, not at the expense of defenses.
your handcuffs are the primary. Like, you got to
But how good would that feel?
But that's my point. I'm talking to the teams. Maybe you're out. Maybe you're trying to ruin it for other teams. You know what your bench needs to be?
Jason has Austin Eckler.
Yeah, I was going to say, I unfortunately, my super team missed the playoffs. Oh, so upsetting.
Just needed one more
Just needed one more big score. And you're darn right. I grabbed Austin Eckler last week before the injury to keep him away from Mike. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not sorry.
Well, I didn't need him until
Well, that's
you need
what
him.
a handcuff is, man.
Well, like I said,
Handcuff.
well, I don't want people being like, "What? Mike talks about grabbing the handcuffs." I have 4 great running back options that would all play in front of Austin Eckler.
Yeah, and bye weeks were there, too. You couldn't drop Mark Ingram to pick up Austin Eckler.
Yeah,
But I didn't let him just sit there and wait until
exactly. If you are a team and you're out of the running, scoop them all up, make them pay.
Yeah, I agree.
It would feel good.
Voicemail. Oh, it would feel great.
Yeah.
Just like picking up Drake Bell and playing him against Jason felt great. Here's a voicemail.
Hey, Ballers. This is Kevin in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I got a dynasty question for you. I was wondering what your guys' outlook was on Tevin Coleman. I know he's hitting the market this upcoming year, but, man, I mean, even in Atlanta, it seems like the situation can't get much better than this, and he's just a high-end RB2. Is that his ceiling? Hope to hear from you guys. Thanks. Love the show. Bye.
I'm glad we got this question because I almost brought this question up when we talked about him earlier today. it feels like he's hurt his stock.
Yes.
Even though the offensive line has been bad, and that's what the tweets are going to come in as, I feel like he's going to land someplace. Here's the comparable that I will have for you. I don't think it's going to be much different than kind of what happened to Isaiah Crowell in his free agency this past year. He will be added by a team in need of a running back. He will be part of some sort of balanced backfield. Maybe he's the main guy. He's not going to be the only guy. If Ito Smith is stealing these level of carries, if his efficiency, there was a time when you thought Tevin Coleman was going to be the next Michael Turner.
Yeah, coming into this season, Tevin Coleman's dynasty outlook looked a lot better than it does right now.
Yeah.
You were excited about his free agency, but when this free agency hits, Lev Bell is going to be the main prized free agent running back who's going to get the massive contract. Tevin Coleman will go somewhere. I agree with you, Andy. Just like Isaiah Crowell, he'll get paid. He'll get a good chunk of change, but he won't be the only back. And as this caller points out, Tevin Coleman is pretty much in the best-case scenario right now. A team, a scheme that he knows, that has been successful, that has a pretty high-powered offense, and he's pretty much an RB2.
Let me give you an incredible stat. Shout out to
great.
Field Yates dropped these yesterday. Okay, I'm going to give you the good first. Highest percentage of carries resulting in a gain of all players. Right, percentage of their carries resulting in a gain versus a loss. Believe it or not, Derrick Henry has the highest percentage of carries with a gain at 88%. Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones, Chris Carson. Highest percentage of carries resulting in a loss, number one. Tevin Coleman. 19.7 carries resulting in a loss. I don't know if that's trying to hit the big play. I don't know if it's offensive line. By the way, number 2, Deion Lewis. Number 3, Adrian Peterson. Number
Kenyon
4,
Drake up there?
Isaiah Crowell. Is what?
Kenyon Drake.
No, he's not around. He's not around. But it's interesting that Derrick Henry is 88% of carries for a gain. Deion Lewis, 18% for a loss.
88% of those 88% for a gain of 1.
Yeah,
that is correct. That is unfortunate. He can fall forward with the best of them.
Tevin Coleman, the best case scenario for Tevin Coleman is that Le'Veon Bell prices himself out of teams like that. Otherwise, it's going to be trouble for Tevin Coleman. There's no real good landing spots for running backs other than, in my opinion, the Colts and the Texans.
There was
Baltimore.
There was actually,
but I don't think they will pay him.
Maybe.
There was hope going into this year that Tevin Coleman would actually go to the Steelers after Lev Bell leaves.
Yeah,
but
that was going to be great.
That could happen too.
Well, but James Conner's kind of established.
Yeah, the depth in the league.
Possible.
I mean, he'll land. He'll land someplace.
Yes, he'll of course get a job. They're just.
Would you rather have Jerick McKinnon or Tevin Coleman in a dynasty league right now?
Well, right now I would rather have Coleman because he's playing. But if we're only talking about next year and on,
yeah, I mean a dynasty league right now.
Take the lotto ticket.
So you'd still rather have Tevin Coleman just for these 3 games?
Right this second, yes. Because if I'm assuming I'm in the playoffs, I want a
next year.
back.
Next year.
You're with me, right?
Yes. So would you rather have the lotto ticket, not knowing where Tevin Coleman is going to go?
I would much rather
Jerick
have
McKinnon coming off the ACL
after this season.
All right. Ryan in California. Question: Trey Boo Boo or Cameron Brate rest of season? I'm the Gronk owner as well.
Cameron Brate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a PPR. Even still, I would choose Cameron Brate.
Agreed.
Where would you draft Aaron Jones in next year's draft? Asks Jeva Nolan on Instagram.
As long as things continue the way that they are with his usage, Aaron Jones will be a first-round pick.
Yeah, he probably will be. And if they exchange head coaches here for someone that is a new offensive schemer, that's only going to improve the value for Aaron Jones.
So if I offered you a trade, because let's say trades are still open, and I said, Jason, I'll give you Jerick McKinnon, and you can give me Tevin Coleman, you would say no.
He would say no.
Correct. Yeah, this is why I was pointing that out, is because I didn't. While I want the future outlook of McKinnon over Coleman, I wouldn't want people out there to say, oh, then I should trade Tevin Coleman for Jerick McKinnon right now. No, go win your championship this year.
So it's not enough of a difference to where you're like, that value is so great, I'm willing to sacrifice something here.
Correct.
Got it. That makes sense. Let's turn to another Instagram question. What are your thoughts on Dalvin Cook after the solid game last week? Should I flex him over Josh Gordon in a PPR league? It's interesting.
Oof. In a PPR league?
I would.
You
Well,
go.
all right, what's the matchups this week?
They
New
play
England.
each other.
Yeah.
They play each other. New England.
In New England?
Yeah. New England is favored.
I don't know.
by
Dalvin Cook, when he
6.
runs, he looks great.
Yes.
It's just, I think I would.
I'm gonna go Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon over Dalvin Cook.
If you want,
What about half point? Does that change it, or is it because of the full point PPR that you're going to go with Gordon?
No, it's either format. I have a really hard time trusting Dalvin Cook, trusting the offensive line.
is it because he's ruined your season?
It's part of it.
By the way, last 4 weeks, fantasy point leaders. In fantasy points per game, Aaron Jones is currently at 10. Chubb's at 5.
Yeah.
You think Chubb goes ahead of
Chubb.
You think Jones or Chubb go ahead of one another in next year's draft?
It will not surprise me if it's Aaron Jones.
So those will be interesting names to watch.
Yes.
For next season. No doubt about it. Chubb has done everything that you could ever want.
Yeah, I want to see Chubb's reception total continue. If he's getting 3 or more receptions a game with the workload he gets on the ground, then the pick should be Nick Chubb.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, let's turn to a website question. Everett in Atlanta, Jameis Winston or Kirk Cousins rest of season?
Oh!
If you had to decide right now,
I would rather have Jameis Winston, even though it is so combustible to the point where, look, Kirk Cousins, he can go out there and have the worst game in the world. I know he's going to start the next game.
very.
I don't think you can go. You can't make the move again.
I would go with. Well, let me,
the move. I mean,
let me see if I
you
can
can't bench Winston.
I get it. Let me see though if I can change your mind. Championship week, semifinal and championship week for Jameis Winston are both road games against Baltimore and Dallas.
Okay,
So
not
if you're going-
great matchups.
Yeah, I would classify them as bad matchups.
You've got New Orleans the
And
week
then-
before that,
And
in
then
the first
Miami,
round.
Miami, Detroit are the 15 and 16 weeks for Kirk
Kirk?
Cousins. They're fighting for a playoff spot. I'm going to go with Kurt. I think he's going to turn it on
All right, Mike, you're going to
for
have
these
to be the
last 4
tiebreaker.
weeks.
I'd go with Jameis.
Wow. Okay. Well, look, Jameis has done it at this time of year repeatedly.
Yeah, he's a 300-yard machine.
That much is definitely true.
His pick sixes,
Oh, they're the best.
They make
the best pick
sure
sixes.
that he has to throw over 350 more yards and extra touchdowns because they're down. They're great for fantasy.
Just imagine if the yardage for the pick six is counted for Jameis.
Oof.
Just imagine.
500.
He
He'd be
did
a
complete it.
1,000-yard passer every game. All right, we're going to get into the Thursday night preview. Twitter question first. Joe Mixon or Aaron Jones rest of season?
Aaron Jones.
Correct.
Really?
Yes.
I think so.
It's funny. I was looking at Joe Mixon yesterday, kind of when I was looking at Philip Lindsay, game over game, how many double-digit games. I was looking at Joe Mixon. And Joe Mixon's been darn good.
Yeah, he's been very good.
Last 4 weeks that he's played with all the tumult and facing Baltimore in that mix, 29 this is our league, so it's going to vary a little bit, but in a half point, 29, 10, 13, 20. Those are better numbers than Aaron Jones in that span. But you'd go with Aaron Jones.
I would still take Aaron Jones.
Interesting. He looks great. Aaron Jones looks absolutely great. If they can work him into the passing game more and more, that's the key. I'm going to give McCarthy a call.
I hear he's very open to suggestions.
Yeah, he's very pliable.
Thursday Night Breakdown.
Well, the Saints are on fire, 10-1. They travel to Dallas to take on the Cowboys, 6-5. They're on fire too.
Yeah,
and they're 7-point home underdogs in a 53-point over/under, one of the higher scoring games of the week. What do you make of this matchup? There are a lot of names. I talked about Dak being a streamer yesterday. I think he is. At home, great option. What do you believe the odds are that Dallas upsets New Orleans at home in this game?
I would be surprised if they upset them. I think they will make it interesting. This is a a point spread where I'm considering which side to take. If Cowboys, covers the 7 points, I can see that happening. A full upset would be difficult. One of the biggest storylines coming in, which is so fantasy relevant and so fantasy football relevant over the last few years, this is on paper the best possible situation for Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper, everything, every single thing. He's been doing it, so you can trust him. Exactly. You've got the 32nd ranked opponent you've got the high over-under. You're at home. Literally everything says Amari Cooper should be.
They're great against stopping the run.
Everyone's start of the week. And this is I'm very interested. I'm super interested to see is he going to be able to do it when he should? He wasn't able to do that in Oakland. I don't think you can bench him. I think you should start him because logic says you should. But
he's had 4 games with Dallas. Is that right? Does that sound right?
That sounds one too many. I think 3 games, but I'm checking. No, 4 games. You're
4
correct.
games, right? Target counts. I just wanted to bring these up. 8, 10, 5, 9. His high. So last week, yes, you're riding the high of Amari Cooper. He destroyed my soul last week and Mike's. 8 for 180 and 2. Previous 3 weeks, 58 yards, 75 yards, 36 yards. Scored 1 time in those 3 weeks. I do think you have to. I mean, let's play some. I know you're playing Cooper, but let's do some start sit because you can't expect 9 for 180.
No.
Do you want to play Kenny Golladay at Los Angeles?
Yes.
Over Amari Cooper?
I would play Kenny Golladay.
See, I would too.
Yeah, I would.
Would you play Amari Cooper or DJ Moore against Tampa?
Oh, that is
because I got him back-to-back in my rankings.
I love DJ Moore in Tampa, but I've got DJ
Cooper.
Moore behind Cooper this week.
Okay.
If you're I don't have Cooper in any leagues, but I feel like if you have him, you're going to have him in your lineup after last week, right?
Yeah, you're going to see the 32nd ranked New Orleans team across the way after this week. I mean, yeah, but
what if you were making the T.Y. Hilton and Amari Cooper wide receiver 2 decision? That's where,
that's pretty tough.
That would be pretty tough, right? T.Y. Hilton plays Jacksonville this week. Are you playing Amari Cooper over T.Y. Hilton?
I am.
Yeah, I think I'd do that too.
This is where he's going to coop all over you.
Well, you're definitely playing
Oh!
Super Camario.
Absolutely. But, I mean, that's just so we can dance.
Well, this is a 97-yard run. Hold on a second. There it is.
He ain't no Lamar Miller.
Yeah, that's right.
The question is for Mark Ingram. In games where he's not scoring a touchdown, he's averaging the running back 42. It's touchdown or bust these days for Mark Ingram, and currently the Cowboys in the past 6 weeks are ranked 7th against fantasy running backs. The Cowboys defense has really been locking things down. 9th against quarterback past 6 weeks, 4th against the wide receiver. I mean, the Saints clearly break some of those things, but are you – I'm going to go to the resident Mark Ingram truther. Jason.
Yes.
Do you want to play Mark Ingram? You might be forced to, but do you want to play him?
Yeah, I still do want to play him. I'm not
Dalvin Cook or Mark Ingram?
Dalvin Cook. So I'll kind of run you through some guys that I would play over Mark Ingram this week. I would play Josh Adams, Dalvin Cook, Matt Breida. Those are guys I would play over Mark Ingram if you've got him. But I would play Mark Ingram. I'm not going to play your Adrian Petersons and Dion Lewis and all the other questionable guys like that. Carlos Hyde, and you picked him up. I'm not playing those type of guys over Mark Ingram.
All right. I think fantasy owners want to know, Traquan Smith may miss this game again. Obviously, Michael Thomas is a must start. Brandon Marshall is yet to be active. Last week you saw
everyone.
You saw Kirkwood with a touchdown. You saw Dan Arnold with a touchdown.
Tommy Lee Lewis gets back.
Tommy Lee Lewis. Mind you, Dan Arnold, I believe, was on the field for 12 snaps.
Yeah, you can't play him.
So, if you took a shot with one of those guys, with Tommy Lee, you're hoping for one catch for 75
or
yards
or a real
and
good drum solo.
Correct. Either one.
Yeah.
He's a
he
Molly
was
fellow?
with Pamela Anderson, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
You can't go with Motley Crue?
That's where I went. I said he's a Motley fellow.
I know. Yeah, tip of the cap. Really?
Really?
My goodness, you should be ashamed.
He went with
I
the
liked
Pamela Anderson.
I liked it.
You liked what?
I liked my reference.
No, the reference is fine. It's just, I mean, the guy's a legendary rock drummer.
You know my music references.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, the truth was, if last week when Traquan 45 minutes beforehand was officially ruled out,
he told me he was going to play. I'm pretty disappointed.
And Tommy Lee Lewis was added to the active roster. That was the role. I mean, that role has always been valuable there, right? Whether it was
you can't play him.
No, I mean. Okay, I'm not picking him up. I'm not playing him in my fantasy football roster. But you want a DFS play? If Traquan is out, who's cheap and could be a huge boom type of player, the 70-yard touchdown down the side guy, yeah, I'm not afraid of Tommy Lee Lewis in that situation.
Dan Arnold had 6 targets, 4 catches, 1 touchdown. Tight end DFS play as well?
Dan Arnold is also...
What if his name was different?
I
feel like
that's where I'm going. Like, Dan Arnold is a mailman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and not just like
he's one of the replacements in that Keanu Reeves movie.
Not one of the drive kind. I'm talking like this is Pleasantville. He walks around with the satchel, whistling and saying hi to everybody.
Dan Arnold is the sidekick to Arnold Schwarzenegger in family movies. That's what Dan Arnold represents.
Poor chap.
Yeah.
He needs a name like Smash Jackson for me to get excited about him.
Well, hey, Dan, you come through with one more big week. We'll look into rebranding.
Oh my gosh. It just shows how amazing Drew Brees is. He turned 3 players into. If he throws a touchdown to Marshall this year, it'll add another name to the pile of guys that have caught a touchdown pass from him this year.
Which is 13 different players.
Is that what it is? 13?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. All right, Dak Prescott, you can stream him. Ezekiel Elliott, you always play him. Amari Cooper, we've talked a lot about him. Is there anybody else we care about in this matchup?
Do you, if you're desperate at the tight end position, are you looking the way of Ben Watson? The only real place that the Cowboys have been beat for fantasy purposes has been the tight end.
No, because Dan Arnold. I mean, because Dan Arnold's a tight end too.
Post office superstar. Dan Arnold.
This is more important. Dan Arnold or Mr. McFeely? Who's nicer?
Who's nicer?
Who would you rather start at your walking postal service worker?
I'm going to
go with
Arnold.
You're going Dan Arnold?
I'm going Dan Arnold.
If it's a stamp licking competition, I'm going with Dan Arnold.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Fastest tongue in the West.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on quick. Don't you have words to say out loud,
It'll
Jason?
be Josh Hill.
Oh, yeah, it'll be Josh Hill this week.
Yeah, that'll be the guy.
Don't one of you have words to say out loud?
Yeah, I definitely want to remind the Foot Clan about this holiday season. The gift
it's coming.
Of Omaha Steaks.
This year there's going to be a holiday season.
Omaha Steaks. This
look
deal,
outside. Dan Arnold's coming through with your Omaha Steaks.
This deal is
right
just,
to your door.
It's unbelievable. It's 74% off. Go to omahasteaks.com. Enter the code Fantasy in the search bar. That's how you find it. It's in the search bar. You select the family gift package. It's only $49.99. It is hand-cut sirloin steaks, premium pork chops, kielbasa sausages, burgers, so much more. Go to omahasteaks.com. Type in Fantasy in the search bar. Add the family gift package to your cart now.
Neither snow nor rain, nor heat nor gloom of night stays these couriers from the swift completion of their appointed rounds.
Dan Arnold.
Dan Arnold.
There was a tweet that came through from
Postmaster General?
Jeff Hobson, the senior writer for Bengals.com. AJ Green was on the field for walkthrough.
That's right.
Well, walking, he's got no problem with that.
With the quote, "I'm back to play," he says.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that'll get you in there.
When AJ Green is healthy, why would he not play? I mean,
why? Because that's what a good franchise would do.
No, but that's not true. Because think about all the.
Yeah, if he's truly healthy.
Yes, if he's healthy, that's like saying that bad teams out there just should. Larry Fitzgerald shouldn't be playing anymore. The Cardinals have nothing to play for. No, he's just a healthy football player.
There's a million variables. Yeah, that's all it comes down to is if does he have an injury that you risk re-injury and surgery? If it doesn't, then of course you come back and play. You don't just shut him down because it's like might as well.
Yeah,
but. he's also been Marvin Lewis for 2 weeks. He's going to play.
Yep.
So there's been question marks around it. But that is it for today's episode of the show. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for supporting the podcast. Don't forget to check out footclangiveaway.com.
Or draft.com/ballers if you're going to play some of that DFS this weekend. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Join our fantasy football community on jointhefoot.com and follow us on Twitter @TheFFBallers.